All right, so we're just waiting on Eric. All right, cool. Shouldn't be long, eh? I mean, what time is it? I mean, I know the time's different in Canada. What? He's ready. Finally. Hello, and welcome back to the Polyester Atlas, where we tread the line between fact and football fashion, and occasionally fall off in either direction. As ever, I'm joined by shirtaholics Nick, Sascha, and Eric, and this time around, we'll be giving you a totally tropical taste of some of our favourite and most interesting shirts from the Caribbean. In particular, we'll be looking at a couple of blinding new designs from the region from a company called Bol. So without further ado, break out your steel drums, because here we go! Okay, so for our dive into the world of the Caribbean, Eric, what have you got to show us?
Okay, so let me get the first one first. Is it possible not to get the first one first if I show it first?
Yeah, I don't really see how that would ever work, but
anyway, they get a tax credit for having me on the show. It's like it's a make-work project for special people. Anyway, this is thanks to our resident researcher there, Nick. This is a 2007-ish Haiti. It's a Diadora shirt that I think was somehow made as a tie-up with some kind of a car cleaning rag company, because you could use this thing as a chamois. It's really thick, and it has like a check pattern in it, like some kind of a paper towel. It's made by Diadora, and I got it from a guy who used to work for the Romanian Football Federation. Somehow ended up from like a swap of a swap. I don't know if Romania ever actually played a friendly against them or something, but a lot of Eastern European countries have a lot of players playing their, second tier leagues from all over the world. Probably something like that. It's how it ended up over there. But I love the oversized badge. And
that badge is awesome.
It's an older badge.
I'd assume, given this number 28, it's probably part of a tour. They might have done like a tour somewhere.
Yeah, maybe
where they took 30 players or something like that. Maybe a youth tour, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, they were the first team to play Kosovo, so I wouldn't rule out that they traveled to Romania at some point as well.
Yeah, I guess that's possible, actually. I'd forgotten about that.
I'm just going to show off the fact that, yes, I did also buy the new Bol ones, and great shirt, awesome. For me, this is definitely, I said it on Twitter, this is a contender for shirt of the year.
Yeah.
It's just stunning. And then, let's see, whether I had one other one that I went, JAMAICA. Amazing no-name shirt with just green with all kinds of, random checks and stuff. And of course, it's got the angry parrot, and you could just, put the angry parrot on there. It's kind of oversized as well.
Yeah. They always have the huge versions of their badge for some reason.
And it was worn in a World Cup qualifier. Which one, I'm not sure.
It's the Brazil World Cup, isn't it? So.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So.
Is that from our friend who?
It's from our sanctioned friend. Yeah.
Our friend. He never sent me my JAMAICA shirt.
Yeah, I feel bad for that guy. I think something happened in his personal life that really messed him up.
I think he's had a rough time, from what I gather. Yeah. So
and then,
I never chased him about it, really.
Oh, and then as Joe pointed out earlier, somehow, I don't know if obviously this wasn't planned, because as you can tell, planning is something that we excel at here on Polyester Atlas. But we got Jamaica all over the place here.
Yeah.
I'm wearing what I call the peacock shirt.
It's a great shirt.
Which I've always wanted. I missed it when it came out. I missed it when Umbro USA had it on sale for $50. And then Classic Football Shirts ended up having it, and I snapped one up. Joe's got the Stonkin 98 away, the background, which is just a beast of a shirt. As much as everybody loves the yellow, and the yellow is awesome, that's a must-have shirt.
Agreed.
Right,
the green's even better.
Yeah.
I do wish I'd picked up one of the yellow ones at some point, but I've never actually gotten around to it, and now they're really expensive, so we'll see.
I might have two.
Oh, if you do, let me know.
I'll have a look. Nick's got something in the background that is just
for the 92 score
and made by Score, which is I think everyone, our regular viewer knows that that's like Nick's favorite company.
And Sascha, of course, is smoking an enormous bifter. He isn't. I just want to make that clear.
Whoever designed the shirt that he's wearing was also doing that.
Yeah, exactly. He was, whoever it was obviously under the influence of some quality Jamaican product.
That's pretty amazing.
Okay, thanks, Eric. That's got us kicked off very nicely. So, so Sascha, do you want to show us what you've picked?
So here we go. This Trinidad one by BOL. I've done my research now on that guy. So actually, Trinidad is having.
There's mine as well. Sorry, we've already seen Eric, so here's mine as well.
Yeah.
Just to
Nick,
be in the gang.
He's rooting through that shopping cart he's got beside him.
Totally. Come on, let's all get them.
So
I've got too many.
We should have all worn them.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. So.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Sascha. Yeah, you were saying that it's about carnival.
Yeah. So the Trinidadians, Trinidadians and Tobagoans, to not discriminate against Tobagoans, they celebrate carnival quite a lot, and it's quite important part of the culture. Basically, the most important part, and it's very regulated. So they have about 20 different traditional costumes of different characters, and they all have a whole history, and they have a certain way to dance and to speak, and certain items they have to carry and stuff to do. And they all symbolize the different ethnicities that jumped around in Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
So for example, the English colonialist is a guy with a checkbook who's writing up names.
Why have they not put him on the shirt?
Who will go to hell?
Absolutely. Little guy in a bowler hat with a checkbook.
Exactly. Yeah, he does have a bowler hat. So they do have different characters, and this one is actually not mocking off these ethnicities as most others are, but this is called a fancy Indian, and it is to celebrate the native people of North America and the Caribbean. So it is not a traditional native of Trinidad and Tobago, but it's just kind of a extravagant design of all native people of North America. So it's having features of all kind of different tribes, and it's just wild, and they wear it in pink or in shiny colors, and sometimes their headwear is so big that you need additional people to support it because you couldn't hold it.
Amazing.
So it's absolutely mental, and this is like the main figure which is celebrating Northern America. So
that's fantastic.
It's on the subject of the carnival thing. This is misconception. I don't know if it's just me, but I always thought that they were known as the soccer warriors. Okay, so apparently it's the soca warriors because there is a type of dance that they do called soca.
Music. So the national music that you will hear on carnival is called soca.
So it's nothing to do with soccer, which is
nothing at all. Interesting.
No.
Yeah, I think I just made that assumption as well because you would.
People are trying to change it down there now. There's some people who are referring to their national team as the Steel Tribe.
Yeah, I've noticed
instead of the Soca Warriors, saying that, we've never had any luck. It's only brought us bad luck calling that. And then it, Twitter wars erupt and whatnot. But yeah, it's
So they want to be the Steel Tribe. Is that because of steel drums?
yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, they are a bit funny. They are a bit funny. I mean, they qualified for the World Cup in Germany, and everyone over here called them on TV the Trinis, because it is kind of a bit long, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
And then some people complained, some Tobagoans, to German TV, and said
Quite
they should
right.
do that. And then they sent a letter to the ambassador of Trinidad and Tobago in Berlin asking, what is the official name of people living there? Is there any short form for it? And they said, yeah, of course, it's called People from Trinidad and Tobago.
Man, that is catchy. Definitely.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So yeah, it's a bit complicated at times.
Yeah.
So yeah, but what I got otherwise is this Jamaica and the opposite,
Yeah.
because it's one of the few shirts where I have both match worn. Actually,
Oh, nice.
By Wes Morgan.
It's Morgan, blimey.
Brilliant.
yeah, Wes Morgan and
Joby
Mac-
McAnuff.
I don't know him, but yeah, it's from the Panamericano Centenario thing, both.
Fantastic. Man, you've got Wes Morgan's shirt. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Not
I
only is he a
managed to get both of
Premiership
them.
winning captain, he was
Hello,
also
is
he was a Forest legend before he went to Leicester. We only sold him because we were really, really, really skint. But he,
I was going to say, what did they throw him off the team because he knew how to win?
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that joke was only good today because Preston was also there
Yeah.
up until yesterday.
And,
so-
and Forest are at the bottom of the table with 0 points from 4 games. So well done, just like last season.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah.
Then I got this St. Lucia
Nice.
shirts, and the main reason is the manufacturer, Skills.
Yeah, I actually
Which I can't help, but it has to translate to bad skills.
does it?
I mean,
I
mal is
see what you mean,
basically
like
Spanish for bad.
like malpractice. Yeah, I hold out the home version to perhaps look
Your
at. but-
sign, Joe?
Yeah, by Cliff Valson. I got it from Cliff Valson, whose nickname is Magnum, and he played for the national team quite a few times, scored a few
The
goals.
number's bizarre, isn't it? It's like painted on.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that number looks awesome. I love that.
The texture on these is weird as well. I don't know if people
Yeah.
can see.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's kind
it
of
looks like a paper towel.
yeah,
Like,
it's
that's
exactly quilted. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, yeah, but I like that yellow version, Sasha. I was always quite taken with that away version.
Their
Yeah,
yellow
then-
shirts are wicked. Was it the Pro Star ones too, with the yellow and black? Look amazing. There's a nice
Yeah.
picture on my Facebook.
Yeah, I really like those as well.
Then I think, speaking about the Caribbean,
Oh,
we
yes.
can't look beyond
Wow.
this Haiti shirt.
Yeah,
I can
love
hold
how
it in
it's
front of
completely
me, and
transparent.
you can still
Oh.
see me.
Yeah.
So it is entirely transparent.
amazing. I mean, that must have been nipples tabulous when they were wearing it on the pitch.
It's done by Sport Globe, whatever that is. And I think you can still buy it on some
gonna say,
weird
Joe,
Brazilian
you-
shop for like €30.
Oh, can you?
Really?
Let me know.
I bought it only a year ago for about €30 on a Brazilian shop.
Oh
The
man.
website hasn't changed in the 10 years that we've been collecting. It's
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one in the States. There's one in the States that's selling it. Yeah, it's about €30.
I'd quite
So,
like.
Joe, if you need one, you can still get them
Yeah,
there.
I'd quite like one of those. I wonder if their sales will go up after this episode comes out.
And then speaking of Haiti, this is one of the most spectacular shirts I have.
Oh.
So this is from the World Cup 1974, I think, where
That's
Haiti
real?
played. I got this from the hotel where the team stayed, which is in Germany. They sold it on eBay. I paid about €20, and I got in touch with them saying, "Are you sure it's legit?" And they said, "Well, it was left behind by the team, and they gave it as a gift to the hotel management. But we are putting new things on the wall, so we don't
my
need it
God.
anymore, and we put it on eBay." I don't think it was ever worn, actually. There is a picture of them wearing a very similar red shirt, but it was short sleeve. And in the World Cup, they just wore, I think, a yellow shirt with the
Wow.
same badge.
But that would have been the away one, probably.
I think it would have been the away one. It doesn't have a number as well, so it definitely isn't match worn, but
That's spectacular heritage,
it
though.
is spectacular.
Yeah,
I mean, it is
Sasha's
prop.
got the best hotel stories.
Yeah, totally. You've got so many stories in hotels.
It is proper fabric as well. Like it weighs like a ton, and I mean it's genuinely from 1974.
Yeah,
you can tell.
For 20
and it's
euros.
Also,
that's mad.
I mean, back at the days, it was still Adidas and Arima
Wow.
doing it together. So yeah, quite happy with that one.
It's fantastic.
I'd be quite happy with that as well, to be honest.
yeah, that's just wild.
For 20 euros. That's just amazing.
And then I have my Dominica as well.
I love this as well. I would love
From
one of
Rossi. It has a very nice badge as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's saying what it is. It's Dominica Football Association, and it has a football player. It's massive.
Yeah.
But the number is tiny, although it's in a massive circle for some reason. It has a funny fabric as well.
And the back number is a different color.
The back number is a different color. So it's just wild.
It's fantastic.
Sadly, I don't have an angry parrot, but
yeah, it's a shame that
that's
guy on
fair.
the badge doesn't have the parrot on his shoulder. That would have been kind of the icing on the cake. But
yeah, he also has just one arm, I think.
good. There should be opportunities for people with only one arm.
I think they wore that when they got hammered by Mexico, didn't they?
Yeah,
in
they
the
did.
World
You'd
Cup
think that
qualifying.
would be a huge advantage in football, given the
handball rule.
version of the handball.
Yeah. Not going to be great for your balance, though, I wouldn't imagine.
No,
I think there is a one.
Peterborough had a player with only one arm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I will have
Morrison, I think it's called.
And then I will have to annoy you again with something I found on eBay. So this is a Cuba match-worn shirt, a keeper shirt, 21. His name is Aldama. And that was actually worn in a friendly match against St. Pauli in Germany as well.
Oh, cool.
And they did a tour in Germany. I think St. Pauli invited them, and then they played a couple of non-league clubs mostly, lost all of the matches still. But yeah, I think their coach for a while was a former St. Pauli coach.
How
and that
many
was the
defected?
connection.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many of the players
Not-
actually went back to Cuba?
None of them, all of them went back actually.
Oh, well, there you go.
And there are pictures of that specific match. I think it was, I'm not sure if it was against St. Pauli or against Schweinfurt, but I have a pic of that in use. And the player, I think, played in the 7th division in Germany for a while after that. He was, well, signed.
Snapped up. He was, hot property.
And again, I think I paid €30 for that,
Nice.
maybe 40.
Bargain. Another ridiculous bargain. You're the king of bargains as well. The king of hotels and the king of bargains.
king of hotels and the king of bargains.
Yeah, and that's it from me.
Okay, fantastic. Absolutely brilliant array of shirts there, as usual. I tend to go last, so will I go now and then Nick, you can go last?
It's completely up to you. I'm not bothered.
Okay, all right, then I will. I just picked a few, probably a few more than I needed, actually, to be honest. But maybe I'll just fly through some of them pretty quickly. One of them was this Antigua Barbuda. I always really liked this design. I don't know, I just like the stripe. It did always kind of irk me that they never put the number in the right place. It should have been here, and they always had it in the middle for the actual game.
I've seen one with a flag put into that gap.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
At least they did something with it, because it does look a bit weird, just left empty. But
And it's sticky, isn't it? I hate it because it's sticky.
yeah, I mean, it is kind of printed on, but I like this, and I remember I like the little flag on the collar as well. But I remember when they released these, they were like selling them somewhere in Florida, only somewhere.
They played some of their home World Cup qualifiers in Miami.
That's right, and it was the first place that they put it on sale, and I remember it being a bit like, how can we get someone to Florida to get some? But then I think we got them through the FA in the end, if I recall correctly.
No, we got it through a woman who was selling it on behalf of the FA. I'm always delighted when we get to the end of the summer and mine is still intact, because as Sascha says, they get really sticky, and they're definitely going to be the first shirt to deteriorate out.
Yeah. Probably worse if you're living in a hot, humid country, I would think.
Mine are in my attic, and when it gets to like the 30s.
I guess climate change might do for some of our shirts if things keep on going the way they're going.
It's probably worse if you live in Antigua anyway.
Ah, yeah, no doubt.
You should get an aircon just for that shirt.
Also, this Montserrat shirt, and I know we've probably all got one of these, but for a while, Montserrat was pretty much one of the hardest countries to get. And I got this one through Dean Mason, who plays for the national team, and I found him on Facebook, and I sent him a message. And I think it was the first time he'd been called up to the squad. And he said, I'll do my best to grab one for you. And I watched both of the games, because it was the pre-qualifiers for the World Cup. And it was before Montserrat had got good at all. And they lost to, who did they lose to?
Belize.
No, it wasn't Belize. I think it was the cycle before. It definitely wasn't Belize. But I watched both legs on I paid like $5 to stream it from the Caribbean, and the quality was absolutely terrible. But I watched both legs, and I saw Dean Mason playing, and I was like, oh, he's my guy. In fact, I think he was injured for one of the legs. But sure enough, when he came back, he just sent me a Facebook message with a picture of this and was like, where do I send it to? And I was just like, you're a hero. That's so nice, you know?
Yeah,
he's just awesome. This guy who was playing for, I think, for Lowestoft Town at the time, just a non-league player. And he totally didn't have to actually do that. And I know we've never actually found photos of this particular shirt in use, but I mean, it's clear that it has been used. It's got mud stains on it.
It's got the English FA
English FA numbers on it. Yeah. The Football League numbers.
Yeah,
so I've always been fond of that, and also just because he'd got it signed by everybody. And sometimes I don't like a signed shirt, but he got it signed for me, if you know what I mean, which kind of makes it a bit better than just buying a shirt that's totally signed. Yeah. And of course, I love Montserrat, and I guess we will look at the new Montserrat shirt in a bit, given that we've done the Trinidad one already. But I guess maybe we'll do that after this. What else? Oh, this Grenada shirt. I always liked this one because it was one of the first rare nations that I managed to get, and it was one where I had to wire. It was the first time I'd ever used Western Union, and I had to wire East Caribbean dollars to some stranger on a tiny little island. And at the time, that was a pretty terrifying thing to do because I'd never done it before. And sure enough, a parcel turned up with this. It's got shorts as well somewhere, and I think this is the away one. They wore it in the Gold Cup, in the first Gold Cup that I ever watched. I watched every single game because it was streaming in the middle of the night, and it was a time when I was doing shift work that meant that I'd finish work at 11, so I'd get home and it was just in time to watch this on Bet365. So I watched every single game, and I was kind of supporting Grenada. So I was really pleased to get that one. It was just a nice one to get, and I got the home one as well, and I think that went to you, Nick.
It's
the yellow version.
Yellow, isn't it?
The home one. Oh yeah, I just really like this Aruba shirt, one of the Admiral shirts, because obviously Admiral took over quite a lot of the of those.
Do you remember how long it took to get Aruba?
Absolutely ages. I think Aruba was the very last CONCACAF nation that I needed, and I knew it was coming because we knew that they were going to start producing them at some point, and eventually they did. And I just think it's quite smart. I'm a bit of a sucker for blue and yellow. I like it as a combo, and I like the fonts that they used on this. And yeah, I mean, it's not match worn or anything. I just got it with printing on, but yeah. Oh, okay. Now I picked this one. It's not the most interesting shirt, but then I thought it might be worth showing just so that we can have a small discussion about forward shirts and what an absolute shambles that company is.
Oh my word! Yeah.
And was, because a lot of Caribbean teams were suddenly wearing forward for a small amount of time, but there were also shirts around for teams that never wore forward. And I think what we discovered in the end was that they had forward had turned up at some, I don't know if it was a conference or what, and just basically tried to persuade as many teams as possible to sign up for their shirts. I don't know if they gave them free shirts.
Yeah, I got in contact with them to try and buy them in bulk, and they said that the minimum order was 10,000 units. And
you're mad.
There's some islands in the Caribbean that barely have 10,000 people living on.
Yeah, exactly. It's
nuts. So,
it's ridiculous.
But the British Virgin Islands, they're a country that they made them for, but they never wore them.
There were a few others like that. I think they made a St. Lucia one, and I'm not sure that St. Lucia ever wore it either. Some turned up in like under 14s tournaments and stuff like that. So I don't know, but the company are a shambles because, I mean, this was, I can't remember what year this was. I want to say maybe 2014 or something like that.
They were at the Under-20 World Cup.
What year was that? Do you remember?
I can't remember. It was a while ago.
Yeah, anyway, I found pictures of Cuba wearing this, and actually of Forward Sports. The other thing about them is the quality varies wildly. Some of them are quite nice. I mean, this one's quite nice. It's got a lovely material badge. It's embroidered. I mean, their metal logo is awesome. It totally looks like a speed metal band. I kind of appreciate that. But yeah, quite a lot of them were absolute crap, and like, but they basically looked like they'd been photocopied onto like, I mean, they were just awful quality, some of them. And I just never quite understood why some of them were great quality, some of them were terrible quality. But the funny thing about this is that Classic Football Shirts got in touch with Forward and, you know, as a way of getting some of these rarer Caribbean nations in. So they got in touch with Forward and said, oh, cool, can you produce X number so that we can sell them? And this Cuba shirt, someone got in touch with me over Twitter and was like, yeah, okay, we've got in touch with Forward and asked them to produce more of this Cuba shirt so that we can sell it. But Forward don't actually have any specifications for it. So can you send some really detailed photographs of it, please, so that they can make it? And I was just like, I mean, that's shambolic. You wouldn't really catch Nike doing that, like messaging Nick on Twitter going, oh, yeah, could you send some pictures of that South Korea shirt? Because we've lost the plans for it. Like, and the photos are not good enough for us to know what it was like. And I think the ones that they ended up producing as replicas did actually end up slightly different because they just couldn't get it right. So yeah, I thought that would just be interesting to talk about Forward for a bit anyway, because they were just one of those random companies that kind of came and went.
Yeah, I've got lots of Cayman Islands ones. Cayman Islands were one of the few FAs that used to sell anyway. If you've got in contact with them.
Yeah, that's right.
I've got 4 different shirts. I managed to find photos of them wearing 3 of them, but not the other. But one of them's like a woman's shirt, and it's actually shaped for a woman as well. It's it's weird that they've done that for the Cayman Islands, but no one else.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's bizarre. And the last one that I just wanted to look at is just because it's such a great design. It's one of my favorite.
Oh, yes.
And I think there was it a Leeds shirt back in the day that looked like this? I think
Cardiff.
It was Cardiff shirt.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's just a great design. I love a shirt that's got stars on. So I don't know if you see there in the yellow stripe, there's a couple of white shirts. And Nick, it was you that got hold of these.
Yeah, so Beltona are a Dutch company, and they used to do the Netherlands Antilles shirts.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Curaçao's first set were atrocious. They were literally plain.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna talk about that in the Ask the Atlas segment.
I won't talk about it now then.
But yes, they were atrocious. That's basically why I'm going to talk about it.
I have the atrocious one.
Yeah, I've got the atrocious one as well. So bad.
I've got the Netherlands Antilles one.
Yeah, I didn't bother with that, and I kind of regret it. But yeah. Anyway, okay. So do you want to take us through what you have got, Nick?
I was trying to limit it to 5, but as I was going through, I was like, well, I'll pick that one, but someone else might choose it. So
yeah, I did.
I'll go through some really quickly.
I did the same.
I have the red and black version of Joe's Montserrat shirt. I did get the green and white one as well, but I sold it to Eric. Worth pointing out, there's lots of fakes of this around. If it's got the embroidered badge, it's legit. And it's got the white again. It's the English Football League printing on the back. I've got a really interesting story about this one. Mine also came from Montserrat. My mate knows someone who is in the House of Lords, Lord Jones of Cheltenham, and I can't remember why, but he has some links to do with Botswana, and he helped me get hold of some of the Botswana shirts by I think they have like committees within the House of Lords and the House of Commons where if you're interested in a particular thing, it's like when you're at university and you're in societies, they have that in the House of Lords and the House of Commons.
It's parliamentary friendship groups.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And like they have them all sorts of things. My local MP is in one for like British wrestling and stuff. He's an absolute knob, but he's into that. Now this guy's in like the Botswana one, and he helped me get hold of some Botswana shirts. Literally, all he had to do was just email the FA, and they immediately got back to him and go, "Yeah, I've got these shirts for you." And great, we've got a load of them. I've tried that; doesn't work for me. But he also said, "Oh, if there's any others you can sort of help out, I can help out with. Let me know." So I just sent him a whole list, and he literally just got his assistant to get in contact with like the British consulate over in Montserrat, and they got in contact with the coach at the FA. I think they've got coaches based in England and coaches based in Montserrat, and they just sent 3 shirts that they're clearly match worn because they're really sort of
weathered and muddy. Yeah.
And they sent them over. Now they don't have an embassy in London, but they have sort of like the step below an embassy, a consulate, I think.
Yeah.
And my brother just went along one day to the Montserrat consulate and picked these shirts up for me.
That's fantastic. Diplomacy is great from time to time, and I mean, like, I tried a lot of diplomats and never got anywhere until Sudan, and then I got my Sudan shirt through Michael Aaron, who was the ambassador for Sudan at the time. And Sascha, I remember didn't you get your Mongolia shirts?
Yeah, I got my Mongolia shirts from the German ambassador in Mongolia. And that was a bit of a nightmare because he had to get all the paperwork in place to kind of prove that he didn't get any illegal gifts from Mongolians.
Right.
So I still have like 10 pages of invoices, all signed off by different people. And
that's amazing. And it's great that
it's a fun way to do it. I'm not sure it's a way that's really worth pursuing too much. Because I was looking at some of the previous emails, because he tried loads of countries. Like I saw the one for Madagascar, and he got a reply from the guy in Madagascar saying basically this is like a voluntary role that he has over in Madagascar to help British people. So it's not really something he can afford to spend his time pursuing. So I felt a little bit bad when I saw that email, but you know, it's great that we got the Montserrat and the Botswana.
Absolutely, totally. I think it's fantastic, and it's just a really nice story as well. You know, it is great when people help you out.
I have the Jamaica Lanzera shirt. So this is
lovely.
The sort of precursor to the famous France '98 shirt. I think they started wearing this in like '95. As you can see, it is signed by lots of players.
Lots and lots of players.
Players like Theo Whitmore, I'm sure he's on there. Dion Burton is written in One Love.
Great.
This is fantastic. I love it. And then the really weird thing about this Lanzera design is that I have the Kappa version, which basically Kappa just
did the same shirt. Yeah. It's weird, isn't it?
It's very strange that they did that. And
they wear both.
It wasn't just for a little bit of time. They wore this one for another 2 years. It's bizarre.
It's very strange. It's a cool shirt.
Montserrat Kappa did this lovely away shirt. Now, Jamaica have this annoying thing where they barely wear away shirts, and I'm pretty convinced they've never worn this. It's obviously the away shirt. It's all official and everything. But when I look at their list of teams they've played, and I've tried tracking down photos, and it's really difficult in the Caribbean because they just don't like taking photos of matches, particularly back in the 90s. And so like even Jamaica home matches are really difficult to find photos from. But when they play like Antigua away, it's nigh on impossible. I doubt there are any photos of it. But I'm convinced that they haven't worn that yet. If anyone's seen it, do get in contact. I'd love to to finally be able to say, yeah, they've run that design.
Okay.
Right, Haiti. I have this cool Haiti Finta shirt, and it is match worn. I think it wasn't sold as match worn, but it's got the number 15 on the back. It is obviously worn.
It's a random number to have on it as well.
Yeah,
I love the numbers. One Finta in different directions, one vertical, one horizontal.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
That's quite cool, that is.
Yeah, so, totally random.
I also bought it from French eBay for about €30. And obviously, them being a French-speaking country, I think it's more likely to have sort of ended up there. Yeah, I'm chuffed with that one.
Great.
Few more remaining. Bermuda away. This is one of the first shirts I got in my collection when I first started out. This is the highlight of it, with all the Bermuda down the side that Nike have now copied and doing on all of their shirts at the moment.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just ripped off Locust. They were like, what can we do that's new? Let's go back to Locust in 2000 and whenever that was, a long time ago.
And this is back when they had the cool badge as well, before they ruined it with that monstrosity. Yeah, I got this from a guy who plays for Bermuda, but not the football team, for the rugby team. I think he went to school with my mate. So he went and got that for me, which is awesome.
Yeah, brill.
Right. I forgot about that. I told Sascha 5 shirts and I've got about 25.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Right, very quick. I'm going to speed through this. St Kitts and Nevis, made by Beaver, who made a few British lower leagues. I think they made Bradford. And in fact, I think they wore this against Bradford when Bradford toured St Kitts and Nevis in 1999, just as they made it to the Premier League.
You're right.
So I was after that for ages. I thought it was fake, and then I found this awesome YouTube documentary of their tour, Bradford's tour, and that's what they were wearing against Canada.
Great.
Bermuda again. Score.
Love this one.
This is one of my favourite shirts. I haven't found any footage or photos of them wearing this. They wore a home version, which is the inverted colours, white with blue crosses on. So it's obviously legit. Very, very good condition. So it's possible they didn't actually wear it. I'm not sure, but the quality is, it looks like it's brand new. So
It's great. It's a great shirt.
Kitts and Nevis, they're like my adopted second team after England. So yeah, I had to get that. My mother-in-law got this for me. They went on a cruise to St Kitts and Nevis, and I made them trek all the way to the FA, where they picked these up for me.
Should bloody well think so too. If they're going all the way to St Kitts and Nevis, they can just go a tiny bit further. If it's going to uncover gold like this, I mean, why wouldn't you?
They're ridiculously hard to get hold of. They are one of the hardest countries, I think, in the Caribbean, just because they're like, yeah, we've got these, let's come get them. They're like, well, yeah, I'll just pop on the boat.
Yeah, thanks very much. Cheers. Can you post it? No. Okay.
Right, and this is absolute gem here. This is the oldest shirt in my collection, and this is the Bahamas. And this is phenomenal. So this came from the son of an England player, an England amateur player, and basically whenever they played games, and he got called up for the amateur team like fairly regularly. Whenever he played, he used to swap shirts, like back before anyone else was doing it. And they went on a tour of the Caribbean, and he picked that up.
What year?
I was after this as well, but it was taken by some collector from Peterborough.
He sent me the program as well. So it was
1969. Fantastic! Wow.
And I'm guessing this is probably worth a bit as well, because like, how many programs of Bahamas versus England are you going to get? Because
I mean, you would imagine there probably aren't very many of them around.
No. Yeah, I saw the guy with like showing off these shirts and everything, and I straight away offered him a decent whack for it, and he accepted immediately. And I thought, oh, brilliant! I've got a really awesome shirt. And then like he showed me all the other ones. He had like Spain, and he had Italy, like all these massive teams. Obviously the amateur teams, but they wear the same shirts pretty much. And he had loads of them, and I got in contact with him and asking about it, and someone had offered him like 50 quid each for them, and I was like, I don't understand how you can do that to someone. Like, I told him they're worth way more than that, and yeah, I was gutted about that.
I
saw them appearing on like selling sites where someone's like, oh, I've got this 1960s Spain shirt, anyone want to give me like 800 quid for it? And I'm immediately there saying, hold on a sec, this isn't quite right. It's the amateur team. It's not a match one Spain shirt. And then,
what a shame, though. I mean, the guy should have made a fortune out of them.
I think I gave him 250 for this. And
that's
I thought that was a fair price. It was a bit of a bargain for me, and it's him. And but yeah, then when I heard about the other stuff, like no way I was going to like lowball him like that.
Yeah. All right.
Unfortunately.
Do you have anything else?
I'll leave it for now.
All right. Fantastic. Well, I think that was probably quite an extensive dive into the Caribbean, really, and a lovely little swim around. Some amazing stuff there, and I guess, Sascha, that's probably your oldest shirt as well, is it? The Haiti one that you showed us from '74.
Yeah, definitely. But now Nick beat me to it. So.
Well, pretty impressive both. I don't think I've got a shirt that's older than about. Oh, actually, my oldest Scotland's probably about 86. I mean, like, I'm miles out of the park. So, yeah, brilliant. Some great shirts there. Thank you very much, gentlemen.